Alright, so in math, operations are just examples of operations are add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So those are all taking operations of something. So if we can get focused here. So we're just going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions. So a lot of the time it's just the notation that is confusing. So if you have an example here, f plus g of x, what does that mean? Well, that's literally just take f of x and g of x and add them together. So if you have f of x equals x squared plus 4x and g of x equal to, I don't know, 3x plus 1, then f plus g of x would equal x squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 1, so it'd be x squared plus 7x plus 1. So the skill there is just combining like terms. We have one function plus another function, you literally just add them together. And if we have f minus g of x, we would just take f of x minus g of x and then combine like terms. So we'd have x squared plus 4x. This is minus 3x minus 1. So 4x minus 3x is 1x, then minus 1 would be our answer. Alright, so what if we had, so I should write f plus g of x is the same as f of x plus g of x. F minus g of x is the same as f of x minus g of x. So if we have f g of x, so the reason I'm showing you both, the ones in red are what I've always done. It's just so much easier than trying to confuse students with the notation. This notation is not all that important. It's not important at all. It's literally just f of x minus g of x. So if I were writing the textbook, I would write my questions in red here, not the way they do it right here. And f g of x is just f of x times g of x, and that's the way I would write the question. So that's what this means. So it would be x squared plus 4x. These are the two functions here. So it would be f of x times g of x, and then we would just have to FOIL it or use the generic rectangles. So I'd get 3x cubed plus x squared plus 12x squared plus 4x. So 3x cubed plus 13x squared plus 4x. So far so good? So what about another example? What if I wanted you to find f of 3? So f of x is right here. So f of 3 would be 3 squared plus 4 times 3. Remember, if we find f of 3, we plug 3 in for x everywhere. So we'll get f of 3 equals 3 squared plus 4 times 3. So it'd be 9 plus 12, or 21 would be our answer. And then f, let's say g of -1 we'd plug -1 in, so it'd be 3 times -1 plus 1 gives you -2. And last on this example, before I have you try one, let's see, what about f plus g of 2. So you could do f of 2 plus g of 2, or you could figure out f plus g of x, which we did up here. It's right here. So we could just plug 2 in right there, because this is f plus g of x. So if we plug 2 in, it'd be 2 squared plus 7 times 2 plus 1. So 4 plus 14, 18 plus 1, 19. So again, we could have figured out f of 2 and then g of 2 and added them together. Notice if I plug 2 in here, I get 4 plus 8, 12. If I plug 2 in here, I get 7. 12 plus 7 is 19. We get the same answer. I guess I forgot to show you f over g of x. So that's the same as f of x over g of x, and you just divide them. So in this case, f of x is x squared plus 4x, g of x is 3x plus 1. This would be f of x over g of x. That's what this notation means. Alright, so just threw my pen across the room. Alright, call this a warm-up. Say f of x Alright, try to find those 4 solutions. Alright, I'm going to go through these. Not everyone may have been done. Tough to tell virtually who's done and who's not. So f plus g of 1. You could find f plus g of x, just add them and then plug in 1. Or I could just find f of 1 plus g of 1, and that'd be our answer. So I'm going to do it that way. So f of 1 is 1 cubed plus 4 plus g of 1, which is 2 times 1 minus 8. So I get 5 plus -6 gives me -1. Raise your hand if you got -1 for number 1. Alright, a bunch of people got that. Good. Feels good about, makes me feel good about my answer. I think I might have gotten it right then, with all those people agreeing with me. Alright, so f g of x is the same as f of x times g of x. So we multiply x cubed plus 4 times 2x minus 8. I get 2x to the 4th minus 8x cubed plus 8x minus 32. Alright, so that'll come in handy because we have to find fg of 2, f of 2 times g of 2. So that's the same as f of 2 times g of 2. Well, we already have f of x times g of x is this boxed in answer. So we can just plug in 2 there. We don't have to find f of 2 and g of 2 separately and then multiply. You could just plug in 2 here. Again, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you that way. It might even be easier just to find f of 2 times g of 2, but I'm going to show you that since we have found it in terms of x, we could just plug 2 in. So it'd be 2 times 2 to the 4th minus 8 times 2 cubed plus 8 times 2 minus 32. So 32 minus 64 plus 16 minus 32. What's that? 48? Negative 48? So 32 minus 32 go away. And then negative 64 plus 16 is negative 48. And then the last one, f over g of 1 is the same as f of 1 over g of 1. So f of 1, we actually found that f of 1 is 5. And g of 1 is negative 6, so it's 5 over negative 6, or just negative 5, 6. Questions on these problems? Alright, so there's other 5.5 does ask students to find the domain and range of like this and f over g of x. I'm not going to ask you domain and range of these. I just want you to perform the operation and simplify like this, or be able to plug in numbers into the functions and perform the operations. So I know the book doesn't ask you to find domain, but if on the worksheet or other things in your 5.5 questions, if that asks you to find the domain or range, you do not need to do that. I'm not going to ask that of you in this year in 5.5. Alright, so